Well, with those still cool temperatures here in Central Virginia, it's the perfect time to bake up an apple dessert. Kind of feels like fall a little bit, with a splash of something special this morning. Leanne Fletcher is back in the Virginia This Morning kitchen to share her recipe for apple crisp amaretto. Hi, Leanne.
Hello. Just a little twist, you know?
Well, yeah, it's nice because amaretto is almond flavored, so basically we're just using another level of flavor.
That's it. Just another flavor going inside of it. So, you know, it's always, you know, nice to have a different profile on the palate. So,
absolutely.
And again, the way we're doing this is it's actually going on top. So if you prefer not to use it or you want to use something else, you certainly can. But, you know, that is the key ingredient here today.
Okay, so the liqueur will not really burn out. So
no.
if you put the topping on, this is an adult dessert.
So we're going to get started with our apples. Again, kind of a basic apple crisp here. We have about 2 cups of apples in here already cut up and already starting to go. So they'll kind of start to reduce down. And with that, we just put a little bit of lemon juice in there. I like to do that 2 reasons. It brings out the flavor a whole lot more, and then also will help you so your apples aren't turning brown.
Yeah, we don't want that. We want it to look pretty.
Yes, absolutely. And so then we have about a ½ a cup of sugar and about a cup of brown sugar. I love putting lots of sugar in it. Some people reduce it down and they don't put as much in there if they don't want it as sweet. And you can do this with other ones too, like pears, different other types of fruits that you can introduce.
Peaches?
Peaches, absolutely. So you can actually introduce a whole, an assortment of different types of fruits.
So I see you're cutting the apples. Are we going to want to break these down totally, or do we still want some texture in those?
Not totally. I like my apple crisp and my apple pies. I like to have the chunkiness of the apples.
Me too.
So some people don't. Some people want it just to where it's all kind of together.
Right.
But I like the
And talk
the
a little bit about the benefit of adding the 2 sugars, because the brown sugar is a different profile flavor-wise than the white sugar, the granulated.
It certainly is. And so the white sugar is not going to also give you that caramelization. So you're going to, when you put that brown sugar in there, you're also inside of it, you're almost getting like a caramel inside once that breaks down with the ingredients inside of it. And you're not going to get that if you just use the white sugar.
Right, okay.
With that. Yep, and then just about a tablespoon of flour. It's just going to help thicken it up. I love cinnamon and nutmeg. It's just, again,
they were made for apples.
They are. Some people use like an allspice that has a lot of the different ingredients
because
already
it says
inside
allspice.
Absolutely. And then we're just going to stir that together, and we're going to let that reduce down just a little bit, not much. So while that's reducing down, we can actually start our crust.
Okay.
And again, these are things that you can do in different steps if you want to, if you don't have that much time, or you can kind of do it all together, because that's going to be sitting on the stove for just a few minutes, and we're going to do their crust.
Okay, what goes in that?
I love using oats on it. Again,
so this is a crumble crust?
It's a crumble crust. Okay. So again, some people may not want to use the oats, and you can just add a little bit more flour to it, but I love having that texture of the oats on top of the apple crisp. So I have about a ½ a cup of oats, and then I have, again, cinnamon, sugar, nutmeg.
Now, when we're putting oats in, are we using quick oats or regular oats?
Just the quick oats are fine. That you can use this right off the store shelf for that. And then, again, a little bit of flour just to help hold it together. And then you have brown sugar as well.
The brown sugar.
Absolutely. So we'll mix that up just a little bit. And then while we're mixing that, again, we can move on to the last ingredient so that everything, the caramel's already been on the stove. So this is basically heavy cream, brown sugar, vanilla, mixture, and a little bit of butter. And then at the end, I put the vanilla in, just at the end. When it's just about done, I put that in there.
Right.
And just let it slow simmer on the stove.
And it smells so good.
It does. It smells so good. It's definitely, like you said, in the fall time when you start to do all the baking, you can see those flavors. That's what it's
And we want to make
like.
sure we don't burn that.
Absolutely. So very low heat and just a continuous little stir. You don't have to watch it, but just can, go and
stir it every once in a while. Yeah, and it looks beautiful. The texture is beautiful.
And so that's your basic caramel. And if you want to, let's see, we can switch. We'll put this, and again, bottom of the apple, this is all reduced down now.
Look at that. I could just eat that.
It is actually, when I had to make this, because we always have to make them beforehand, I took some apples home to my son, because this is his favorite breakfast, dessert, whatever, or we put ice cream on it, or we have it for a side dish with their dinner, or can I have it for breakfast? And he likes to eat just that.
Yep.
So yeah. And then you just take your oats, and you'll mix that together, and once you mix it together, it will come to a thickness.
And that was butter in that pan.
It is. Yeah. It is butter in the pan. That's what's helping it spread together. And then it's just a crumbly crust.
So that's that.
That is that.
Okay, so that's the texture that we want to get to.
Absolutely. So you're going to come to a texture that's similar to this that you're going to do for it. Spread it on top of there. And then after that, you can put it in the oven. And of course, we have a magical oven here. So we're gonna put one in, and we'll pour one that's very warm out.
I was gonna say with your baker's hands, because that oven is hot.
So, key ingredient, again, we have our caramel here. We do not want to put our amaretto in until the very end, because otherwise it will bake out. And you'll have the flavor still there, but it won't be as much. So it's about a 1/4 cup that you're gonna add in.
But again, for adults only if you're doing it like this, because that is not gonna burn off.
And then we're just gonna do a light stir.
That's beautiful, and you did give us this recipe, so we're going to put this on our website for folks to get. You want to serve
and a
that
spoon right there, and we will dish some of this out.
And I love the fact that we now have a working oven, because you can make hot things for us.
Yes, absolutely.
That's beautiful.
The sauce, again, caramel sauce.
You just do a drizzle?
It reduces down on there.
Or for me, more than a drizzle. Because that makes it wonderful. And then you brought some whipped cream as well.
Absolutely, have to have a little bit of that on top of there.
There we go. That's a beautiful dessert. You can make this tonight. You'll find this recipe on our show website by early this afternoon at WTVR.com/VTM. Thank you so much, Leanne.
Yes, absolutely.
Thanks for bringing breakfast.
Yes.